are much too excited about what's going on. We're talking about Tom Brady here. Okay, Skip, we're going to get through this today. Let's talk about what we saw last night. The Rams did beat the Buccaneers last night, 27-24, despite rushing for less than 2 yards per carry. Jared Goff picked apart the Tampa secondary for 376 yards and 3 touchdowns, including over 100 yards to both Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. Meanwhile, Tom Brady finished with 216 passing yards on a season low, 4.5 yards per attempt, and also threw 2 interceptions, including one on the Bucs' final drive when they had a chance to tie or take the lead. The game gave the 43-year-old quarterback Brady his 3rd loss in primetime this season. Shannon, how much was Tom Brady to blame last night?
A lot, 9.5 out of 10. Don't put this in primetime. Tom Brady has played more primetime games. 9 Super Bowls, is that primetime? 13 AFC Championship games, is that primetime? All these playoff games, don't put that in primetime. Tom Brady has played bad. It's as simple as that. Tom Brady has not been good this year. He's played
this
good
year.
Wow. He's played good in spurts. He hasn't put a game together. No,
Did you watch the game at Carolina just a week ago? Is that like a virtuoso masterpiece?
Didn't they come from behind when they 10 down? Okay, finish. Please, just let me have my moment. Just let me have my moment. 22 incompletions. Wow. Skip. Is that good? You throw the ball 48 times, you have slightly more than 200 yards. Is that good? Is that good or bad? Now, this is what we know here. Brady was inaccurate all night. Last night on the deep balls, 0 for 6 with 2 interceptions on throws 20 yards downfield. Now, Skip Bayless and Pro Football Focus say Tom Brady is doing great throwing the ball down the field. The last 4 games, he's 1 for 20 on throws 20 yards down the field with 3 interceptions. Is that good? Now, here's a stat that somebody, I don't know who came up with this stat. They call it he leads the league. Skip, did you know this? Tom Brady leads the league in 20-yard throws. 60. He leads the league, but he's 27th in completion percentage. 4 interceptions, which is 3rd most.
What was the final score?
Whoa, time out, Skip. Skip, I will let you have your
It was 65-0?
Whoa, if I'm not mistaken. Jenny.
What?
What did I predict the final score was going to be yesterday?
I don't know.
You know, Skip.
I have no idea. I don't listen to the scores.
I remember, Shannon.
27-24.
Right, take your moment.
Did you really?
I really did.
Did.
Skip Bayless tells me.
Finally got one right.
Skip Bayless said Pro Football Focus also came up with a stat. Air distance. It doesn't matter if the ball is complete or incomplete. I thought completion mattered. So now it doesn't matter because Tom Brady.
Because you've been telling me all he does is dink and dunk to his backs.
Skip. What good if I throw the ball? Jeff George would be in the Hall of Fame if completions didn't matter.
I was only refuting your point. He's just a dink and dunker now. That's what you said. He's got no arm. He's a noodle arm. He's a spaghetti wing.
How's his completion percentage when he throws it down the field?
Well, who leads the whole NFL in air distance?
Skip.
And I think he pulled away last night.
Skip, that's an inconsequential stat. You saw him throwing the ball down the field and what it looked like.
Did he dink and dunk last night?
When he didn't dink and dunk, how did he look?
When did he dink and dunk? I saw him dink and dunk to Fournette 3 times, and he dropped all 3 of them.
Hold on.
Did you note that over there?
Hold on, time out. He had, Antonio Brown had 13 targets. He had 8 catches for 57 yards. That's 7.1 an attempt. He had 10 targets to Chris Godwin, 7 catches for 53 yards. That's 7.6. He had 1 receiver that had a double-digit average on completion. And you talking about he not dinking and dunking.
What was the final score?
The final score was Tom Brady lost and the Rams won. That's what. And Jared Goff, first of all, Jared Goff and Sean Payton likely gave this thing away because they got ultra conservative and they got careless with the football. But Sean McVay, excuse me. But Skip, your boy looked awful last night. There's no way around it. I don't want to hear anything about the defense because I told you. Everybody based everything. Because, see, if you watch Tampa Bay, everybody wanted to anoint them after they did with Green Bay. And I said, if you watch that defense, I say on the back end, now who said it? I didn't second guess Skip. I told you, I said, Skip, they can be had. I say they're very undisciplined. I say they're out of position a lot more than you think. But because that pass rush covers up, but if they don't get home, they can be had. Whoa, that defense, they're coming. I said they can be had. Skip, Tom Brady, he got happy feet. He doesn't want to get hit. And they got around, Skip, they really didn't do a whole lot, but they got around him a little bit. And he got like he had poker, hot poker, like he was doing the poker. Skip, you guys, you know what? the thing that's going to happen is they're going to be a wild card, and they're going to go.
Wait a second. After all that, you've got them in the playoffs?
No, hold on, Skip.
You're kidding me.
Hold on.
After all that diatribe, you've got Tom Brady in the playoffs? You said he's awful, and he's done. He's washed up. In fact, for 4 straight years, you have said on this show to open the season, he should go home.
Let me ask you a question. One question. I'm going to turn it over to you. Somebody from the NFC East is going to the playoffs. Are they awful? A simple yes or simple no. Don't explain it. A simple yes or a simple no. What does that have to do
with this conversation?
Tom Brady was awful last night. He still might make the playoffs. That's the point.
That's not a point. That's a terrible point because somebody from the NFC East has to go to the playoffs.
Okay, Skip. They added an extra spot.
Nobody from this NFC South has to go because New Orleans is going.
They added an extra spot just so he could get in. They added an extra spot for him.
So you don't have enough guts to predict that Brady and company are out of the playoffs. I'm putting you on the hot seat.
I predicted
Shannon Sharp's on the hot seat.
He would play like trash in 2020. I predicted that.
Somebody has no courage of conviction.
What they got to do with last night?
Somebody's got no guts.
What they got to do with last night?
Put your money where your mouth is.
I predicted he would play like trash in 2020.
Oh,
I'm being prophetic right now.
And yet, through the first 8 games, he led the league in big-time throws. That's trash. Oh, that's trash. Way to go. All right, is it my turn finally? Is the show over yet? I don't know. Are we still on the air?
You got plenty of time. You got plenty of time.
Oh, good.
I don't know what you're going to talk about.
I'm going to need plenty of time. So, as usual, I first guessed everything that was going to happen last night because I told you on the air, you can look it up, you can pull the tape yesterday. This was an awful matchup for Tom Brady because the Rams have one of the most fierce pass rushes in pro football. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes.
Because what do you tell me about Aaron Donald? He's transcendent. He's one of the greatest defensive linemen in the history of football. He's the most valuable player in the entire league, says the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp. Am I right about that?
That was years ago. Mahomes the best player right now.
Oh, years ago on Aaron Donald? I think it might have been 2 years ago. Okay. By the way, just for the record, Aaron Donald, do you have any stats on him from last night? Help me out.
Well,
do you have any?
Did they double and triple him?
I'm sure they did.
Okay.
But if you're Reggie White, if you're Lawrence Taylor, it doesn't matter how many people try to block you. You create stats because you get to the quarterback. And by the way, Aaron Donald last night, here are his stats across the board. He's not on the stat sheet because he didn't register. He had nothing. He had no tackles. He had no tackles for losses, obviously. He had no sacks. He had no quarterback hits. He had no sacks. He had no nothing. Aaron Donald, the man that Shannon Sharp says he's at least the second best player in pro football. But now we're back to what happened last night.
Yeah, what happened last night?
So I told you the Rams can rush 4 and get home. And they got home, especially in the third quarter, and they knocked the hell out of Tom Brady. He took some serious abuse, especially in the third and early in the fourth quarter. And I will agree with you, he got a little gun shy late in the game, and he got happy-footed just like all humans do when they get the hell kicked out of them.
Goats don't do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, he's a 43-year-old GOAT, and he's still playing at an extremely high level. But he knows how to survive and just sort of stay the course. And that's by not getting hit the way Drew Brees got hit and broke like 17 ribs, right? Okay. So now you've got not only this pass rush coming after you with 4, you might have the best cornerback duo in all of football right now, Jalen Ramsey and Darius Williams, and they were playing at an all-pro level last night because Darius Williams did an extraordinary job on Antonio Brown. He had him the whole night, and obviously it was big time versus big time. It was all night long. It was Jalen Ramsey versus Mike Evans, and he also did an extraordinary job on Mike Evans, especially in the fourth quarter, because he basically took him away from Tom Brady. That's a tough matchup because I told you it's going to have to be a Rojo game. The last thing I said at the end of the show yesterday, it's got to be a Ronald Jones game. Let me see. What did Ronald Jones do here? Oh, he carried it 10 times for 24 yards. So at Carolina, he had a 98-yard run, right, for a touchdown. 10 times for 24 yards, that's 2.4 a try. And for the team, they had 18 rushes for 42 yards. That's 2.3 yards per try. All of which adds up to Tom Brady was in big trouble. Now we get to the defense. We have seen back-to-back primetime games in that stadium. We saw a Sunday night game against Drew Brees and now a Monday night game against Jared Goff.
Got another one coming, too.
I'm not. That's exactly right. And they are going to get run off the field by Patrick Mahomes and company. This defense is terrible. I am here to tell you this defense will take this team nowhere in the playoffs. Brady or no Brady, it just doesn't matter if you cannot defend the pass, and they cannot defend the pass. So guess what we've seen? We saw Drew Brees come in and light them up. And if we just take the combined passes, Taysom Hill threw some passes also in that game. But if we take Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, and then what happened with Jared Goff last night, those three passers in these last two primetime home games at Tampa completed